Hello, Jared the Wyrd-Worker here. In this video, I'd like to talk about questions and exploring questions and the need often expressed by them. Oftentimes, I think that we quickly look down on certain questions as being foolish or silly. Now, I'm not talking about questions that are asked in bad faith. I'm not talking about questions that are asked to, create an argument or disprove witchcraft or, pagan spirituality. Those I have very little tolerance for. But there are other questions that we often see as misguided or foolish or just plain dumb that maybe we should stop and look at them and ask, why is the person asking this question? Let me give you the perfect example of this. When I first started looking into witchcraft, it had been just a couple of years since the first movie, The Craft, came out. The one with Neve Campbell in it. Now, because that movie came out, there were a flood of people, mostly teenagers, who were interested in witchcraft, who came to online message boards about witchcraft and paganism, looking for spells, that secret spell to change one's eye color or to change one's hair color. Because of course, they saw it in the movie. So of course they wanted to do it too. And we heard that question a lot of times, and I was going through my know-it-all pagan stage at the time, so I was among those that was getting really annoyed with the question and really frustrated, and could really be snarky and downright rude to those who inquired about such spells. Because, to the best of my knowledge, such spells don't exist, and it does get annoying. And to be honest with you, it got a little annoying because, do you believe everything you see in the movies? But at the same time, 20 years has passed since then. And I've grown a bit wiser and a bit more introspective. And I started thinking, why do people ask such questions? And in the case of that question, why do all of these young people, like I said, mostly teenagers, want this magic spell to change their eye color or their hair color? And I think exploring that question can reveal certain needs. Is it a case of they want to do this because it's a neat parlor trick and they want to show off for their friends? That could suggest a need for validation, or just a need to feel special, or something similar to that. Maybe they want this because they really do want to change their appearance, but their parents won't let them. And maybe there's an issue there that this is a matter of something they want to be able to control. They feel like they have a lot of control and agency in their life. So being able to use magic to change their hair color and eye color on a whim, whether, the authorities or, parents or whatever other powers that be happen to exist in their lives, can't stop or control. These are legitimate needs. And these are honestly things that witchcraft and or pagan spirituality really can explore and address. Maybe not in the way that the person asking the question originally thought, but there is a way to talk about how do we define our value? How do we determine our own value? What makes us unique? What makes us feel unique? There are things to talk about. Well, what can we control in our lives? And what should we be able to control in our lives? And what can we do to exercise some modicum of control when we feel that we are completely out of control? And as I said, these are things that I didn't think about 20 years ago, partly because I was in my pagan know-it-all stage, and, questions like that just annoyed me. As an aside, this is why I, roll my eyes at people who complain about, dabblers and baby witches and newbies and everything else. It's like, let them be. Let them figure it out. Or express an interest and a desire to understand the underlying need. Because, again, there may be a real need there that can be addressed. Now, I will admit this video is a little bit self-serving. In about a week, I have my first Ask the Wyrd-Worker event coming up. And I thought it would be good to explore, what kind of questions I'm looking at. And I really want to stress that idea that you don't have to have a question that you think is smart. You can think your question is silly or dumb. As long as you're asking it in good faith, it can open up a discussion. Anyway, I hope this is something that you will consider and think about. And I do hope to see you next week when I do the live event at 8 p.m. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can look at the Google event calendar that I've created. That'll be in the description to figure out what that is in your time zone. At any rate, until next time, blessed be.